Within 1 month, I had two near-death experiences because I wasn't checking my blind spot properly. But you know what? Checking the blind spot is not just a necessity for the road test. Hello everyone, this is Harminder Suri from Toronto Drivers, your one-stop shop for all the driving solutions. Friends, when I used to teach driving, a lot of times people would ask me, Harminder, why do we need to turn around to check our blind spot when we can see everything in the side view mirror and the rear view mirror? Well, the reason they call it the blind spot is because you cannot see the spot in the mirror, and there is actually something called the blind spot. You know, when I was taking lessons to pass the test in Ontario, you know, my instructor would tell me to turn around to check the blind spot, and I didn't know where exactly the blind spot was, so I was always confused. But it was a requirement for the test, so I would just do it as a formality. And you know what? When I did get my license, within 1 month, I had two near-death experiences because I wasn't checking my blind spot properly. To me, it did not make any sense. I actually thought that there's nothing called a blind spot. I can rely on the side view mirror for everything and drive safely on the roads. But you know what? Checking the blind spot is not just a necessity for the road test. It is actually very, very crucial when you're driving on the roads. So you must check your blind spot. To know where exactly your blind spot is, you would need someone to help you. When I used to teach driving, I would come out of my car and demonstrate this to my students like this. I would start with the point where they could see me in the side view mirror. And then I would move to the side a little bit where I would disappear from the mirror. Then I would move in different areas of the blind spot to demonstrate further.
You see me here? Yes? How about now? Can you see me here? No? Turn your head. Can you see me now? Can you see me here? In the mirror? Turn your head. Can you see me? So looking from this angle, this is where I started first, and then I moved a few steps this way, sideways, and then I was in the blind spot. Do you see how little difference there is between being in the blind spot and not being in the blind spot? So your blind spot could be really, really, really close, and you may not see the vehicle. That is why it's very important for you to check your blind spot every time you're doing a lane change or you're turning. Now this position is also a blind spot area. Now imagine if you're on the highway on a speed of 100 kilometers per hour and you do not check your blind spot and you try to switch lanes, how disastrous that situation could be. So that is why I always emphasize on checking your blind spot.
This picture shows what your blind spot areas are. The areas that are shaded in red are your blind spot areas. A car could be this close to you and you may not see it. A question my students used to ask me was, how far back should I turn to check my blind spot? The answer is, you want to look in the middle of your rear door glass. A lot of my students would turn too far back to look through the back window. And if you also do that, then just know that the rear view mirror covers the back window. So you don't have to worry about that. Just looking in the middle of the rear door glass is fine for checking the blind spot. One mistake you do want to avoid is to turn the wheel along with your head while you're trying to check the blind spot. Because when you're on a high-speed road, a slight turn of the wheel can move you into another lane very quickly, and if there is a car in that lane, it could lead to an accident. So just move your shoulder by keeping your hands steady on the wheel. How long should I look? Often, new drivers tend to look for more than a couple of seconds. Yes, a couple of seconds is a lot. The problem with that is that if you continue to look for too long, then you can start to drive in the direction you're looking. Therefore, check the blind spot only for half a second and bring your focus back on the road in front of you. Half a second is just enough for you because you've already verified in the rear view mirror and the side view mirror that there's no vehicle. So the blind spot check is just the final confirmation, and that is why it shouldn't take you that long. I'm soon going to make a video on how to change lanes, so you better practice checking the blind spots well because it is an important factor in lane changing. So that's that about checking the blind spot. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, then hammer the like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos on driving. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next Friday.